It was supposed to be just another glamorous night in Atlanta, sparkling lights, red carpet snaps, and Rasheeda rocking yet another flawless look that had fans flooding her socials with fire emojis. But behind that picture-perfect smile was a woman unknowingly standing at the edge of emotional destruction. Because while Rasheeda was busy filming her newest promo and gushing about family loyalty in a heartfelt interview just days ago, Kirk Frost, her husband of over 2 decades, was allegedly slipping back into the shadows of a past no one expected him to revisit. And this time, the betrayal wasn't just whispered in the halls of gossip, came with photos, messages, and one witness who says they saw it all. That witness, none other than Jasmine Washington, the same woman who once shook the entire Love and Hip Hop franchise with her bombshell claim that Kirk fathered her son. Just when the dust had finally begun to settle, Jasmine re-emerged with event receipts, screenshots, video clips, and a timeline that didn't lie. She says Kirk came to see her, alone, at night, and what happened next, she swears, wasn't a mistake, it was a choice. Now, rumors are spiraling out of control. Fans are in full meltdown mode, and Rasheeda, sources close to her say she was blindsided. One insider spilled exclusively that Rasheeda collapsed in tears when she found out, and hasn't spoken to Kirk in days. And if that weren't messy enough, their oldest son Kai was allegedly caught in the middle of a screaming match between his parents that had neighbors calling security. What exactly went down between Kirk and Jasmine? Is this the final straw for Rasheeda, or will she once again try to hold together a marriage that seems determined to fall apart? Buckle up, because this story has twists no one saw coming, and the truth, however painful, is about to come crashing down in the most explosive way possible. Stay right here, because we're diving deep into the scandal that's tearing the Frost family apart and sending shockwaves through Atlanta's reality TV elite. This isn't just drama. This is betrayal, heartbreak, and maybe, just maybe, the beginning of Rasheeda's ultimate revenge. It started with a whisper, the kind that dances through the corridors of fame and fortune like smoke, hard to catch, but impossible to ignore. Rasheeda was glowing just days before, promoting her new fashion line at a high-profile launch party in Buckhead. Cameras flashing as she stood beside Kirk, hand in hand, the image of unity. But behind that picture-perfect moment was a storm, gathering strength. Word on the street said Kirk had been seen leaving a late-night spot in Midtown, looking too familiar with someone who should have been left in the past. Jasmine. Yes, that Jasmine, the very woman who once detonated Rasheeda's world with a baby and a betrayal that nearly destroyed everything the couple built together. For years, Kirk and Rasheeda fought to recover marriage counseling, public apologies, teary confessionals, even awkward family therapy sessions broadcast on reality TV. Fans watched them rebuild. Fans rooted for them. But it turns out, while Rasheeda was healing, Kirk may have been reopening old wounds in secret. At first, Rasheeda dismissed the rumors. People love drama, she told a close friend during a private lunch at Toast on Lennox. They see me happy, they see my brand winning, and they want to tear that down. She laughed it off, but there was a flicker of doubt in her eyes. And that flicker turned into a full-blown wildfire when an anonymous DM landed in her inbox. It came with 2 grainy photos. One of Kirk in a hoodie and ball cap outside a lounge called Vibe District. The second a blurry but unmistakable image of Jasmine's long curly hair, her hand brushing against Kirk's arm. Still, Rasheeda wasn't ready to spiral? Not yet, but the timing was off. Kirk had told her he was out of town that weekend handling business in Charlotte. When she zoomed in on the photo, the street sign screamed ATL. Then came the call. Jasmine's voice was calm, too calm. I'm not trying to start nothing, she said, but I think Rasheeda deserves to know the truth. Rasheeda froze. Why are you calling me? She asked, her voice trembling but steely. Because I thought we moved past this mess. Jasmine's response was chilling. That's what I thought too, until Kirk showed up at my place. And didn't leave until 3 in the morning. The next day was chaos. Rasheeda confronted Kirk in their home. No cameras, no scripts, just raw rage and heartbreak. Tell me the truth, she demanded, shoving her phone in his face. Were you with her? Kirk blinked, startled but not speechless. Rasheeda, it's not what you think. I was just checking in on some things. At her place. At 3 a.m. She yelled, her voice cracking. You think I'm stupid? The argument escalated. Their son Kai overheard it and reportedly tried to intervene, only to get pushed aside as Kirk stormed out of the room, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the walls. The family was left fractured. Kai, caught in the crossfire, was seen later that evening, driving away from the house with his headphones in, eyes puffy, jaw tight. Rasheeda didn't post for 3 days. That silence was louder than any tweet. Fans flooded her last post with comments. "Please say it ain't true. Girl, leave him. Rasheeda deserves better." But it got worse. Jasmine wasn't done. She dropped a bomb on Instagram Live, saying, "I never asked him to come. He showed up. And yeah, we talked. But what happened after? That was on him." The internet exploded. Screenshots of the live flooded the shade room, and within hours, the hashtag Kirk Frost trended nationwide. Rasheeda stayed quiet until a cryptic story appeared on her profile. Just one word. Enough. No face, no voice. Just that cold, final word against a black screen. It was enough to set fans on fire. "She's done. He ruined it again. How do you mess up twice with the same woman?" One of Rasheeda's closest friends, Candy Burris, allegedly reached out privately, urging her to take a break and come stay at her guest house. Rasheeda, ever the loyal warrior, declined. "I'm not running," she reportedly told her team. "This time, I'm standing in it." But the drama wasn't just between the three of them anymore. Word got out that Jasmine was pregnant again, and while she never outright claimed it was Kirk's, the timing raised eyebrows. During a radio interview with Streets 94.5, the host asked her point blank, "So is Kirk the father?" Jasmine smirked. "Let's just say, the past has a way of repeating itself." That was the moment things snapped for Rasheeda. Sources say she confronted Kirk a second time, this time in front of friends and business partners at their pressed boutique. "You lied to me again," she reportedly shouted. Kirk tried to calm her down, but she wasn't having it. "You humiliated me once. I gave you grace. I rebuilt your image. And now this. You think I'm gonna play the fool twice?" The store fell silent. Employees watched awkwardly, customers pretending to browse while eavesdropping on every word. Kirk, trying to control the narrative, released a statement to TMZ. "There's a lot being said right now, and most of it isn't true. I love my wife and my family, and I'm working to fix this privately." But the damage was done. Jasmine, meanwhile, was seen shopping at Phipps Plaza with a diamond necklace that looked suspiciously similar to one Kirk had once gifted Rasheeda in Season 5. Fans caught the receipts. "He gave her Rasheeda's necklace," one follower posted. "The disrespect is unbelievable." And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Jasmine posted a cryptic TikTok set to Beyoncé's "Sorry," with the caption, "He only want me when I'm not there." The pettiness was cinematic. Fans were divided. Some called her a homewrecker, others labeled Kirk a serial manipulator, but most they were heartbroken for Rasheeda. And for the first time, she wasn't defending Kirk. Not in public. Not behind closed doors. Not anymore. And that's when things got truly explosive. The tension was so thick it could be cut with a knife. Atlanta had never seen a scandal erupt this fast and this loud. Rasheeda was no stranger to drama, but this was something else. Her silence wasn't just deafening, it was strategic. Behind the scenes, her team was in overdrive. PR managers scrambling to control the narrative, close friends trying to reach her, brand partners getting nervous. Deals were already on the table for a new reality spin-off about black love and entrepreneurial couples. Now, everything hung in limbo. Rasheeda had built an empire on resilience, but what happens when the foundation cracks from within? Meanwhile, Kirk had gone radio silent. No posts, no photos. Just a trail of unanswered calls and missed opportunities to make things right. But privately, he was panicking. He reached out to Rasheeda through their manager, pleading for just one sit-down. One chance to explain everything. Rasheeda finally agreed, but not alone. She brought her cousin and longtime ride-or-die Kelsey to the meeting, and made one thing clear: if you lie to me again in front of her, I'm walking. For good? The meeting was held at a quiet corner booth inside a restaurant in Castleberry Hill. Low lights. No cameras. Just real emotions. Kirk showed up looking worn, as if the weight of his decisions had finally caught up. Rasheeda sat, straight-backed, arms crossed, eyes cold. "I didn't sleep with her," Kirk said immediately. "But you went there," she snapped back. "You went to her house. You didn't tell me, you lied about your location. And now she's out here, playing Beyoncé with a baby bump. Tell me what I'm supposed to believe." Kirk sighed, rubbed his hands together, leaned in. "I needed closure. We never really talked after all that happened." She texted me and said she had something important to tell me. I shouldn't have gone, but I swear, nothing happened. Kelsey narrowed her eyes. So she's lying again. Is that your story? Kirk hesitated. I don't know what she's doing, but I didn't touch her. I swear on our kids. Rasheeda's voice dropped to a whisper. You swore on them last time too. The conversation ended with no resolution, just pain and more questions. Rasheeda walked out without hugging him, without looking back. Kelsey followed, shaking her head. He's still playing you, she muttered. Rasheeda didn't respond. She didn't have to. Her silence said everything. Later that night, Rasheeda went live on Instagram. Fans held their breath. It wasn't a tell-all, not yet, but it was a message. A raw, unfiltered message that left jaws on the floor. Sometimes, the people you fight hardest for turn out to be the ones fighting hardest against you, she said. Eyes glistening but no tears falling. I believed in love. I believed in change. But belief doesn't keep you warm when the lies start piling up. I don't know what tomorrow looks like, but today, I choose peace. The comments were explosive. Queen energy. We, riding with you, Rasheeda. Let that man go. Even Cardi B dropped a heart emoji and the words realest thing I've heard all week. But while fans were lifting her up, Jasmine was busy stirring the pot. In a now deleted Instagram story, she posted a video of herself cradling her stomach while wearing what looked like Kirk's old varsity jacket from a past LHHATL episode. The caption read, "History repeats itself," especially when the first chapter was never closed. The mess was now multi-layered. Some fans believed Jasmine was others swore Kirk had slipped again. A few speculated the baby wasn't even his, that Jasmine was baiting the media. But the one thing everyone agreed on, Rasheeda deserved better. And that opinion only grew stronger when a new player entered the scene. Enter Devin Marks, a tall, charismatic entrepreneur Rasheeda was spotted having lunch with at Negril Village. Cameras caught them laughing, clinking glasses, and walking out arm in arm. Devin was no stranger to the spotlight either. He owned 3 clubs in Atlanta, a tech startup in Miami, and had just been featured in Essence as one of the black moguls to watch in 2025. The internet went wild. Is Rasheeda finally done with Kirk? New man alert. That glow ain't just highlight, sits freedom. Kirk, according to insiders, was livid, not because he and Rasheeda were officially separated, because she was moving on faster than he expected. He always thought she'd wait around. One source said that she'd be there no matter what. Now he's realizing she's not playing that game anymore. But Kirk wasn't just fuming in silence. He reportedly showed up at Rasheeda's boutique 2 days later, unannounced, trying to talk. Rasheeda refused to let him in. Kelsey had to physically block the entrance. You had your chance, she snapped. Now step off. Witnesses said Kirk left fuming, pacing the sidewalk before driving off in his Escalade. That same night, he posted a cryptic quote on his story. Sometimes you don't know what you had until it's gone. And when it's gone, you realize it was everything. Meanwhile, Jasmine's narrative was starting to crack. A fan leaked a screenshot of a DM exchange where she allegedly admitted the baby probably wasn't. Kirk's The Shade Room picked it up instantly. So now you playing games. One fan commented, "Leave Rasheeda alone." Another added, "Sis, your 15 minutes expired in 2017. Still, the damage had already been done." The Frost family was in ruins. Rasheeda's mother, Shalene, even chimed in during a Facebook Live. "I told her a long time ago, he wasn't right. You can love someone and still walk away. And I think it's time." The clip was shared thousands of times. Rasheeda reposted it with the caption, "Listening, more these days." But Kirk wasn't ready to let go. Not yet. Not when cameras were now swarming every move Rasheeda made. Not when Devin Marks was holding her hand at events. Not when public opinion had turned so viciously against him. He needed a plan, a grand gesture, something to win her back. And fans could already feel it in the air, one final play that could either redeem him or destroy whatever dignity he had left. And just when things seemed to simmer down, Rasheeda got an invitation she wasn't expecting. One that would set the stage for the most explosive moment yet. The city buzzed with one name, Rasheeda. Not Kirk. Not Jasmine. Not the Frost brand. Rasheeda, the woman who'd stood tall in stilettos while her world crumbled only to rise higher than anyone expected. Fans dubbed her the Phoenix of Atlanta. And while memes, reaction, videos, and TikToks flooded the internet celebrating her viral speech at the Frost Family Legacy Gala, Rasheeda was plotting behind closed doors. She hadn't just survived the betrayal, she had branded it. And now, she was building an empire on her ashes. Days after the gala, Kirk tried to regain control of the narrative once more. This time through an exclusive interview with ATL Weekly. "I never claimed to be perfect," he confessed, eyes glassy. "I've made more mistakes than I can count. But I love my wife. I never stopped. And I'll be here when she's ready to come home." The interviewer asked the question everyone wanted answered. "Is Jasmine's baby yours?" Kirk paused. "There's no baby." That was a headline, not a heartbeat. And with that, the final twist was unraveled. Jasmine had faked the pregnancy. Within hours, Jasmine's credibility was shredded online. Fans dragged her for filth. "Girl, how you lie about the same thing twice? You don't need Kirk, you need therapy. Congratulations, you played yourself." Jasmine responded, with a shaky Instagram live, sobbing into the camera, claiming she just wanted closure and that Kirk gave her false hope. But no one was buying it. The damage had been done. To her, to Kirk, but not to Rasheeda. She'd come out on the other side, gleaming. Kirk, on the other hand, was a shell of the man we once knew. He started showing up at events solo, face low, energy dimmed. Friends close to him said he was spiraling quietly. He don't eat, don't sleep. Just watches that gala speech on repeat like he's trying to rewind time, one source revealed. And yet, Rasheeda wasn't cruel. She wasn't posting revenge pics or flaunting a new man in his face. She didn't need to. Her silence was a louder flex than any diamond ring. Meanwhile, Devin Marks had been respectfully distant. After the gala fiasco, he called Rasheeda, congratulated her on how she handled it, and offered support without expectation. "If you ever need a real one in your corner, I'm here," he said. Rasheeda thanked him, but made no commitments. "Right now, I'm dating me," she replied. That quote alone went viral, printed on t-shirts, turned into TikToks, even sampled in a remix that hit SoundCloud trending. Rasheeda wasn't chasing love. She was the love, and everyone wanted a piece of her shine. 1 week later, she sat down for her first post-scandal interview with Essence. Shot in her boutique, surrounded by her designs, she looked poised, regal, and every bit the boss she'd become. "People keep asking me why I stayed so long," she said, "but the real question is, why do we, as women, feel like we have to earn loyalty? Like it's a reward for suffering?" She paused, letting the silence speak volumes. "I don't regret anything. Not the love, not the pain, because it led me here. And here is powerful." Fans wept. Sr. Beyoncé, Michelle Obama, and Rihanna wrapped into one. Protect Rasheeda at all costs. Give her a Netflix deal immediately. She ended the interview with a sly smirk and a promise. "My next chapter. It's mine, to write. And baby, it's already a bestseller." But the final blow to Kirk's dwindling dignity came unexpectedly when Rasheeda announced her solo reality show, Pressed, My Truth, a behind-the-scenes look into her healing, her brand, and her unfiltered thoughts post-betrayal. The trailer dropped with millions of views in the first day. In one clip, she's seen packing boxes. In another, sitting on the floor with Kelsey, and sipping wine. "I was loving a man who hadn't even learned to love himself," she says in voiceover. "But now, I'm done playing small to make someone else feel big." And that wasn't all. Pressed the boutique. Expanded to 3 new cities. Pressed the skincare line. Sold out in minutes. Rasheeda wasn't just moving on, she was taking over. She began appearing at women's empowerment conferences, gracing panels with quotes that left audiences clapping through tears. "Your heart isn't a punching bag? Stop handing it to people who think pain is love." Even Rasheeda's mother, Shirlene, became a fan favorite online. Nicknamed Mama Clapback for her no-nonsense commentary. During an IG Live, when asked if Kirk would ever be welcomed back into the family, she said, "He had a seat at the table. He set it on fire. Ain't no invitation coming." But the story took one last emotional turn when Rasheeda visited a women's shelter in Atlanta. Cameras captured her talking to young mothers, donating a portion of her boutique's earnings to survivors of infidelity, emotional abuse, and toxic cycles. One woman asked her, "How did you get out?" Rasheeda held her hand and whispered, "I stopped waiting for someone to save me, and I started saving myself." The internet exploded. Celebs reposted. Foundations reached out. Oprah's team reportedly sent feelers for a sit-down. Rasheeda had turned the ashes of a broken marriage into a movement. She wasn't just inspiring women, she was liberating them. And where was Kirk? Still hoping, still waiting. But Rasheeda's heart had already moved on. Not to another man. Not to revenge. But to something deep. As the season finale of Pressed, My Truth aired, viewers were left with one haunting scene. Rasheeda walking through her boutique alone after hours. Soft music playing, her voice narrating. I thought I needed him to finish my story, but it turns out I was the whole book. Fade to black. To be continued. Maybe, but Rasheeda no longer needed the ending tied up in a bow. She had already won. So there you have it, the jaw-dropping unraveling of a love story we all thought had found its fairy tale ending. From Jasmine's twisted return, to Kirk's desperate attempts at redemption, and Rasheeda's rise like a queen reborn, this drama delivered the kind of roller coaster fans will be talking about for years. It wasn't just another scandal, it was heartbreak turned into power. It was betrayal turned into business. It was Rasheeda saying no more, and the world finally listening. Kirk may have tried to spin the narrative, may have played the victim, may have offered rings, tears, and promises, but when the cameras turned off, it was Rasheeda who walked away with her dignity intact. Her brand booming, and her spirit stronger than ever. Jasmine, discredited, exposed, vanished. Kirk, left in the shadows of a spotlight he once shared, and Rasheeda, she stepped into center stage alone, glowing unstoppable. But now we turn it over to you. What do you think? Was Kirk truly remorseful, or just scrambling to save face? Do you believe Jasmine was really lying about everything? Or was there a deeper layer of truth buried in the chaos? And most importantly, should Rasheeda give Kirk one last chance, or has she finally closed the book for good? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear your take on every twist, turn, and tear. And if you were just as shook as we were, forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more reality show bombshells, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a single scandal. Until next time, stay messy, stay curious, and stay tuned. Because in the world of reality TV, the drama is never really over.